WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Several agencies are investigating a possible homicide in Oktibbeha County. Thank you for joining us tonight at 6. Investigators say 60-year-old Joyce Bostic was found dead inside a mobile home on Sykes Road yesterday. Oktibbeha County deputies, they were called to the home for a welfare concern. Deputies say that the home was also partially burned inside. Oktibbeha County Coroner Michael Hunt confirmed to WCBI the death was ruled a homicide. However, the body is being sent for an autopsy. A person of interest in the case is in custody on unrelated charges. The MBI Crime Scene Unit, and the State Fire Marshal's Office, they're assisting the Oktibbeha County Sheriff's Office with that investigation. It has been a busy week for the Macon Police Department. 2 shootings, both within a span of just a few days, both in the same area. WCBI's Bobby Martinez spoke to Macon Police Chief Divine Beck to find out if they're connected.
Macon Police Department responding to a shooting here on Turner Drive Tuesday night. That suspect has since been arrested, and over the weekend they are investigating a separate shooting that happened in the same area where they say a suspect fired off over 20 shots. It all started Saturday around 12 a.m. on Walnut Street.
First of all, it's a blessing that ain't nobody get killed with those amount of rounds being fired.
Macon Police Chief Divine Beck says the suspect fired a total of 22 shots into a mobile home, striking 2 people who were nearby in vehicles. Most
of them was fired in a mobile home in conjunction with a vehicle there. The other ones were fired in vehicles that were passing by. Unfortunately, 2 people got injured.
Beck says they do have a person of interest, but they are facing challenges with the investigation.
We do have a strong person of interest, but we're still trying to collect evidence to tie the person in with that particular crime. Basically, witness. We have trouble getting eyewitnesses, and nobody's seen anything. A lot of people heard the shooting, but they didn't see anything.
And just days later, a second shooting occurred in the same area on Turner Drive, where Beck says they arrested and charged 31-year-old Willie Slaughter Jr.
Our guys responded to the area pretty quick. Witness was able to identify the person that actually shot in the house. He was charged with 2 counts of simple assault, 1 count of discharge of firearm outside the city limits, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce.
And when asked if these 2 shootings are related,
no, it is not at this time. We still investigating these incidents separate.
Macon Police Department also advised anyone with any information on both of the shootings to contact the Macon Police Department or the Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. Reported in Macon, Bobby Martinez, WCBI News.
I hope they can find some answers. An arrest is made in an April robbery that happened in Tupelo. 35-year-old Keon Lenore was arrested Monday and taken into custody in Monroe County. At the time of his arrest, investigators say that he was also on MDOC probation. The alleged crime had happened on April 27th at the West Main Kroger in Tupelo. Investigators allege Lenore took money from a woman and ran off. He's charged with strong armed robbery. His bond was set at $50,000 in municipal court yesterday.
We've got temperatures ranging from the upper 60s, where we've had some rain, some gusty breezes, Columbus, Louisville, to the low 80s and upper 70s, Tupelo and Vernon, where some spots have not seen any rain this afternoon. We check out our live radar, and we have pockets of rain scattered across the region here. All of this lifting from south to north, more clouds than anything else, but there are some downpours here and then some lighter rain showers. All of what you see here will go away by mid-evening, probably by 9 o'clock or so. Temperatures all over the place right now, gradually cooling down into the lower 70s and then 60s, mid-60s for lows tonight. If you didn't get rain today, we do have more opportunities for some scattered showers and storms on Friday. Temperatures generally in the low to mid 80s as we get ready for the weekend. I'm back with that forecast in just a few minutes.
We're learning more about a worker at the Arrington Assisted Living Community who passed away from COVID-19. The Plantation Point community, it tells WCBI the employee was a 56-year-old caregiver described as a hero, a person who showed up to work every day to care for those in the facility. Administrators say that it's a devastating loss. The employee was hospitalized May 5th due to complications from the virus. 6 additional residents, we're told, are in the recovery phase from COVID-19 infection. State Medical Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs says Mississippi has a suspected case of the mysterious pediatric illness that's believed to be connected to COVID-19. The illness is an immune reaction that happens sometimes after possible coronavirus cases. According to Dr. Dobbs, it seems to be targeting children 5 years and younger. Dobbs says that physicians, they need to start sending case reports of possible diagnosis of the disease so that they can report it to the Centers for Disease Control. Right now, the state is not releasing where the suspected case has been diagnosed. The Mississippi Department of Health is reporting 393 new COVID-19 cases today. The new cases bring the state's total to over 10,000 cases. There's a demographic shift in the illness. A majority of cases are in the 40 to 49-year-old age range. Over 105,000 people have been tested for the virus. 15 new deaths are also being reported today. One of those deaths is in Monroe County. Statewide, there have been 480 coronavirus deaths. The state health department estimates about 6,200 Mississippians have recovered from the virus. Governor Reeves broke down the plans for the first phase, giving funds to small businesses through the CARES Act. The first part, it includes $300 million. The governor says that there will be two main sections to this part, including a direct payment to small businesses and the Back to Business Fund. Small businesses forced to shut down due to COVID-19, they'll get a $2,000 direct payment. And small businesses that had costs that were a direct result of the pandemic could get reimbursed up to $25,000. Governor Reeves says that it's his goal to get money out as soon as possible. And though this part is aimed at helping small businesses, he says that he still wants to work on passing legislation that would help individual Mississippians.
I'm certainly still continue to be very interested in helping those individuals that were harmed, that perhaps were not able to get their unemployment insurance checks, for instance, or those individuals that were harmed because the government did what they thought was right to shut down certain industries for safety reasons, but these individuals got hurt at no fault of their own, and we as state government should step up and help those individuals.
The governor says after the bill is looked over one more time, he intends on signing it into law. Well, there's some good news for those small businesses who were impacted by COVID-19. As you heard, help is on the way. State lawmakers voted to allocate $300 million to businesses who were affected or forced to temporarily close. The funding, it'll come from $1.25 billion that the state received through that CARES Act. Our Quentin Smith speaks with a lawmaker and a small businessman about the new grant. He joins us live in Columbus with the details.
Yes, Scott, this grant money is for businesses that existed before March 1st and have no more than 50 employees, like Jordan's Barber and Style Shop here in Columbus. The shop was forced to close its doors back in March. The owner tells me this money is much needed, and if the bill gets signed by the governor, he already has an idea on how he plans to use these funds. Inside Jordan's Barber and Style Shop, the clippers are buzzing and the scissors are snipping as the shop looks to reopen.
We miss the clients, they miss us, and we're in a service business and they need our service. So it works out good for us as barbers. It also works out good for the client.
Bobby Jordan's business was one of the many impacted by the coronavirus. He was forced to close his doors for more than a month. That's why he's excited to find out lawmakers now want to give small businesses like his financial relief.
I'm glad that they're going to be able to do something for us because it's been hard, you know, especially since this is our only income. So anything that we can get will help us out greatly.
In the proposed bill, lawmakers would give $300 million to small businesses. A $60 million grant will provide a one-time direct payment of $2,000 for businesses that were forced to be closed by government orders. They would not have to apply for those funds. The other $240 million will be for places that suffered unexpected expenses due to COVID-19. Businesses would have to apply for this grant, which goes up to $2,500 per business.
It's a $2,000 direct payment that will be administered through the Department of Revenue. And then there's an application process up to $25,000 that small businesses can apply for through MDA.
District 41 Representative Kabir Kareem was one of the lawmakers who voted in favor of the bill. He also works at a small business in Columbus and says he knows the importance of allocating this money to help small businesses get back on their feet.
African Americans have been disproportionately affected by this pandemic, particularly their small businesses. Where I voted for the bill, I was hoping that there was going to be a little bit more in there for minorities of the state. But, you know, it's a start. I'm glad that small businesses are going to get some help.
They were talking about masks and gloves and other material, disposable capes, using paper towels, disinfectants, and see, that's going to be an ongoing thing, so that's going to cost us, so this money will enable us to buy those items.
I do want to point out these are grants, which mean businesses would not have to repay the funds. The bill passed both the House and Senate last night after a lengthy debate. The bill now awaits the governor's signature before any funds can be given out and before the application process can begin. That's the very latest for here in Columbus. Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
An area city is making plans for summer sports offerings. We take a look at what's in the works and what they're waiting for when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Our own Andrea Self, she talked with Governor Reeves this morning about the state's response to COVID-19. They discussed a wide range of topics from reopening the economy to resuming church services to what's ahead. Many of you have questions about school this fall. Here's what he had to say.
As we look to the fall, I am very hopeful that our kids will get back to a more normal schedule, but I also am convinced that we need to invest more in things like distance learning techniques. We need to invest more as a state in our school system for more computer systems, particularly those in the more rural communities and those in the underserved communities.
Now you can hear Andrea's full conversation with the governor tomorrow morning on mid-morning at 9 a.m. Second graders at North Pontotoc Elementary had a special send-off for their summer vacation. Pam Simmons, a second grade teacher at the school, she wanted to do something special for students whose school year was cut short because of the coronavirus restrictions. So teachers organized a drive-by farewell for their students. Parents drove their second graders to school, and teachers, they handed out goodie bags, supplies left in the classes back in March and popsicles to kick off their summer vacation.
We want the kids to know that we're here for them, no matter what they're having to go through. You know, it's all been a change for all of us, but there has to be a little bit of closure this year to start next year.
Students have been keeping up with their schoolwork by completing packets teachers have prepared since school was closed back in March. The Restart Columbus Recreation and Park Committee is working to get league baseball teams back on the fields for the summer. The committee agreed teams can start practices as early as June 1st. Official games will begin June 15th and will run until the end of July. Park directors developed guidelines for all athletes, coaches, and parents to follow to lower possible exposure of COVID-19. These include equipment cleaning, physical contact between teams and spectators. Columbus Mayor Robert Smith says a tentative schedule is drafted, but they still need to get official guidance from the governor.
We don't want no one to get sick out there while they're out there. We want them to have a good time, but at the same time, we're concerned about the health, safety, and welfare of the kids out there.
Lowndes County Park directors and the city's attorney, they'll meet next week to discuss and finalize the guidelines. All right, we're going to send things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, a few surprise showers this afternoon.
Some showers, some thunder showers are a typical summer fare. We need to get used to it.
Definitely feels like summer.
The humidity is back. We certainly know it. We are stuck in the soup tomorrow. More 80s, a chance for more of those showers and thunder showers too. We'll talk about it and have a look at your weekend forecast next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Some spooky clouds across our region this afternoon. The bark worse than the bite, but some pretty cool shelf clouds. That one was spotted near Brooksville earlier this afternoon, and also underneath one of those shelf clouds as it was marching on through southeastern Oktibbeha County near Oktok. And this is a cool time lapse from Starkville. You can see how fast the clouds are moving. Again, this is just a time lapse, sped up a little bit, but some turbulence in the atmosphere. Some gusty breezes, maybe over 30 miles per hour. Download the WCBI News app, the latest weather forecast, of course. You can submit your pictures and your videos to us directly from the app. All right, let's talk about your weekend. Saturday, an isolated shower storm is possible, but pretty warm, upper 80s. A better chance for some scattered rain and some storms here Sunday, 85 degrees, but a summer-like weekend. Your Louisville, Mississippi time lapse today shows one of those showers coming on through right there. Some brief heavy downpours, a little bit of thunder and lightning in that. And now a live view in downtown Tupelo. We've got some budding cells and some showers just to the south, 79 degrees, the wind at 8 miles per hour, but we may see those breezes kick on up. and those temperatures fall as these showers come on in. Southeast of Oxford, we have some cells here just to the north of Water Valley and also just south of downtown Tupelo near Verona and Shannon. That's what we were just looking at. And farther south, some lighter rain just falling from those clouds that are in place. But overall, benign activity, nothing too terribly heavy here, but maybe a brief downpour and a clap of thunder. Bigger rain down to our south, but all of what you see here will be going away as we get into mid-evening. So by 9 o'clock, everything should be done. We're down into the mid to low 60s tonight. Here's our planner for Friday. We are looking at temperatures in the upper 70s to low and mid 80s in the afternoon. Better rain opportunities again on a scattered basis once we get into that daytime heating from midday into the afternoon. So 80 Pontotoc, 82 in Tupelo tomorrow. Winds from the south at about 5 to 15 for you in Vernon, 86. Maybe a lesser rain chances farther east. Farther west, a better opportunity perhaps for some storms, but everybody could see a shower storm tomorrow with highs generally in the low to mid 80s. So here's the big picture. Quiet tonight. Those storms fade away this evening. We'll flare up more showers and storms tomorrow. This is tomorrow evening, early in the evening, and then those will go away. Saturday morning should have a quiet start, and I think the best chance of rain Saturday will be to our west here across Arkansas, Louisiana, maybe far western Mississippi. But for us locally, rain chances look pretty slim on Saturday, so that's why we are bumping the high back up to 88. 85 Sunday, 78 on Monday, a chance for some scattered showers and storms. Right now, we're advertising some mid to upper 70s for the middle of next week. That's all dependent on whether or not a little area of disturbed weather can set up. If it doesn't, it's going to be much warmer. But if it does set up like this, we may see a few showers going into next week. No big system, though, for the next 7 days.
I'll keep my fingers crossed about Saturday. Thanks so much, Keith. Alabama makes a decision for high school sports for the summer. The very latest on cancellations and rules next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
The Alabama High School Athletics Association has canceled summer competition for 2020. In a release, the AHSAA says mandatory summer workouts are prohibited, but weightlifting, conditioning, and workouts are okay as long as they're voluntary. To read the full release, go to our website, WCBI.com. A fourth Mississippi State Bulldog enters the transfer portal. Offensive lineman Stuart Reese will be immediately eligible where he plays, given he'll be a graduate transfer. Reese started 34 games at Mississippi State. 24/7 Sports was the first to report. One of the area's fastest rising prospects receives an offer from the university a half hour north. Louisville defensive end Tavoris Cooper tweeting out that he's received an offer from Mississippi State. Cooper racked up 9 sacks and 21 tackles for loss in his junior season in 2019. He's received offers from Tennessee, Memphis, and Southern Miss, among others. The NCAA's June 3rd deadline for men's basketball players to withdraw from the NBA draft has been pushed back. The decision coming in response to the NBA postponing the draft lottery and scouting combine indefinitely. Mississippi State forward Robert Woodard entered the NBA draft process but maintained his eligibility, so any decision will be delayed. That's it for sports. We'll have a last secure forecast coming up next.
Live view in Tupelo right now in the foreground. The breeze is picking on up with that little shower moving on through. We've had some bursts of wind with these showers and thunder showers lifting from south to north. This all goes away by mid-evening. Another chance for some showers and storms as we get into our Friday. Also for Sunday, not so much Saturday, Scott. So if you have any plans Saturday, should be okay.
Listen, I'm hoping they open the pool up. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Open them up. Come on now.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you at 10.